Look at the fruits of the labor. And then tell me I'm wrong. Because if you feel like I'm saying something that offends you, you're exactly the type of degenerate people that I'm talking about, and you can eat a Frank. So Brett stand is open. Nathan's is open as well. You just take 2 Franks, put it in your mouth.
Really the hottest nigga, you gon' respect this lava. I'm shooting it if I pull it, boy, make sure you want this drama. I bring it to you like it's Law and Order SVU. Turn you to a vegetable, now you look good inside a soup. Family come from Bishopville, but I grew up in that Bronx Zoo, where they shoot you dead in the street and then dance all on top of you, and I do what I gotta do.
Started. Please don't get me started. Started.
What up, y'all? It's Nate Almighty, aka the Global Dark Skin Ambassador, with another video, man. But before I get into this video, I also want to tell you that I have a new channel with my best friend, my right-hand man. It's called The Nate and Rich Show, okay? Go ahead and subscribe to The Nate and Rich Show, where we will be reviewing music, and we also talking about, you know, current events going on in black people news. And we're going to be cracking jokes. We're going to be giving some real talk. And we're going to be offending people. It's not politically correct at all, right? Also, follow me on Instagram at Nate_Almighty_GDA. That's where you will find me if you want to also promote a product, promote your music for the low. And when I say for the low, it's very, very, very affordable. Like, even if you broke, you should be able to afford this, right? But without further ado, let's get into the topic of this video. Gangs are about everything but getting money and making progress. Period. 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 Period, man. And I'm talking about all gangs. Every single one of y'all. Every single one of y'all. Okay? You've been duped. You've been had, bewildered, bamboozled, right? We live in an era where, before the internet, right, the tribal nature of men in America have led us to form gangs that always ultimately end up being cancers to the community. Always, always, from the almost beginning of the Bloods and Crips starting in LA. It is said that the Bloods and Crips started in LA to protect their communities. And somehow, some way, I believe, over a starter jacket or something, the Bloods and the Crips have been beefing for 40, 50 years, which is utterly ridiculous. Like, utterly ridiculous. And whether you from LA or not, you have to be able to admit that what started the Blood and Crip war is utterly ridiculous. And the fact that they still going to war with each other, knowing that started the way it started over something frivolous as a jacket, right? And nothing ever happened to the point where they could really say, hey, listen, we not banging on each other no more at all. You got to give credit to the United States government and the stupidity of the people who are involved in that culture. Now, hopefully in the future, you know, the Bloods and Crips in LA, they could find some type of common ground. But you know how these things go with human nature is, humans are always going to be tribal, and they always going to find a reason to disagree with each other until something like cataclysmic happens. Like if a meteorite hits the planet right now, right? The Bloods and Crips in LA are not going to care about beefing with each other. Everybody's going to care about trying to survive. It's going to be more about survival. I mean, well, first off, you know, a purge-like scenario may happen first, right? And you know, the most stupid people are all gonna, you know what I mean? They're gonna be wasted away first, and then the last of the people who are involved in these type of organizations, they're gonna be like, you know what? If we want to survive, we should probably just band together as one people, right? It'll probably take something like that to happen. You know what I'm saying? That's just, hey, if you do some studying, you see that there's been a global reset several times over the history of man. You know, some people call it mud floods with Tartaria. You know, the Bible speaks about the Great Flood. It's always been, you know, resets where human beings had no choice but to start over again, where all that other stuff didn't matter, all that ego-based driven stuff. But anyways, gangs are about everything but money and progress. Everything. You bring it to New York City, right? You bring it to New York City, where unfortunately there's even less structure with the gangs, and it's really mostly about clout. Mostly about clout. Gangs are more of a fashion statement in New York City. I know some gang members in New York City is gonna feel the way that I'm saying this right now. But if you're a logical thinking human being, you're not gonna take offense to it. You're just gonna be like, you know what, he type right. That don't apply to me, but he's type right. So I would say if it don't apply, let it fly. You know what I'm saying? But if you do feel the way that I'm saying this, and I'm definitely telling the truth, because you gotta judge people by the fruits of their labor. Look at the fruits of the labor of all gangs in America. And I'm gonna specify just the gangs that come from the type of community where I come from. Look at the fruits of the labor. Look at the fruits of the labor. And then tell me I'm wrong. Because if you feel like I'm saying something that offends you, you're exactly the type of degenerate people that I'm talking about, and you can eat a Frank. So Brett's stand is open. Nathan's is open as well. You just take 2 Franks, put it in your mouth. Put it in your mouth. You know what I'm saying? But to the people who are in gangs that have some logic, right? Right? You've obviously logically thought, what's the point of all this, right? And I'm going to tell you, unfortunately, my brother, there is no point. And unfortunately, gang members are in a matrix within the matrix within the matrix. Because we already have the matrix that is the world we live in today, right? Where it's a ton of lies. Nobody knows their history. There's always a scapegoat for something. The main people who are the people who should be blamed for things, you never see their face, you never hear their names, you don't know where they are. Being in a gang is like a matrix within the matrix within the matrix, because it's like the people at the very top. Like if you're a logical thinking person, right, who wants to do good for their community and you want to change like the scope, and you happen to be in one of these gangs, you're in a matrix to where y'all big homies are so comfortable at feeling like there's somebody in a world, in a class system full of nobodies, in organizations full of nobodies for real, where you would likely have your life taken away from you if you gain too much popularity and start to be too positive. You would likely be kicked out of your gang. You would be scrutinized, right? Right? You'll be scrutinized. Gangs are about everything today but money and progress. Let me explain something to you, right? When I was growing up, half of the men who I looked up to, right, they were in gangs. They were members of the Bloods, right? And the rest of them were drug dealers, even though they weren't in gangs, right? But they were drug dealers. We lived in a time where, you gotta understand, not one time did any of these people suggest to me that, well, I can't say none of them suggested that I stay in school. That would be a lie. But that's only a few of them. But majority of them, they were already putting it in your head, getting you ready to be a criminal, getting you ready to be a womanizer and a baby daddy before you even really stepped off the porch. okay? At no point did most of these people ever say, hey, listen, there's this book called The Autobiography of Malcolm X. Read this, bro. There was never a, hey, listen, you don't want to be like us for most situations. I cannot say all, because, you know, there was people, you know, in the hood, like, you know, Ill Will and other people like that in the building where I come from, who they was always positive. You know what I mean? There's also, you know what I mean, like SB, who is from my building, my guard brother. He did a lot of time, but he was never somebody who encouraged us to be in the street. Like, if we was trying to rob people or we had guns and stuff like that, he would, like, take it away from us. He would literally, like, tell your mother on you if he seen you doing something you weren't supposed to do, which was annoying at the time, but it's respectable when you're older and you see what he was trying to do. But anyways, most of the other guys never said, hey, listen, you're gonna ruin your life if you out here just chasing a bunch of women, sleeping with a bunch of women, not wearing a condom, not trying to find one good girl who you could build a family with, right? None of them was saying, hey, there's this book called The Autobiography of Malcolm X, bro, little bro. You should try to read that. You know what I mean? It'll change your mind. There was never a, hey, listen, there's this book called Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill, or Rich Dad, Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki. Absolutely none of them had anything to say about life insurance, credit, none of these things, right? As a 31-year-old man, I began to learn about these things over the last few years by the internet. By the internet. Up until the internet, you had pure ignorance in the neighborhoods where we come from. Large amount of gang members, in some other places, all gang members. And yes, in the 90s, it was about some money, right? Where you in a gang, but they'll tell you, hey, why you in this gang? You're here to get money for the team. Whether that's selling drugs, robbing people, things of that nature, right? At least it was a focus on getting some bread. Now, it's literally all about violence, looking cool in most situations. It's about violence and looking cool. It's about, hey, they're from this other block across the street who we don't respect. They claim in this block, we don't like them. We had some type of skirmish with them in the past, or we used to fight them growing up, or one of them smashed my ex-girlfriend or took my girlfriend from me, and we're going to war with them. They said whatever gang I rep came, they put up my hood sign, and then they put a gunshot next to it. So therefore, we're going to go to war with them for all eternity, right? And we're going to brag about it. We're going to celebrate it. We're going to argue with them on live. Like, the dudes in the generation after us, they lost and they don't even have to be lost. They don't even have to be lost. Like we have the internet now. The internet is the reason why I'm doing this, talking to y'all right now, and being able to get my message across to the right people. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, if I could save one young person from taking somebody else's life, spending the rest of his life in prison, then my job is done. My job is done. You know what I'm saying? But we live in an era now where we have the internet. There's no excuse for people, even if you're my age and older, and you used to, and up to yesterday, you've been involved in doing dastardly deeds, right? And being a cancer to your community. There's literally no excuse. Literally, you can order a book on Amazon. You can watch a couple videos, learn a couple different things on the internet, and you literally can reinvent yourself within a 2 to 5 year span, if you don't give a damn what nobody else is saying, you can reinvent yourself. So anyone who's choosing to be in the game today and choosing to be negative and attack your own people, take their life, get your life taken away, go to jail for all these amount of years, and over no money, because let's understand this, right? 99% of gang members going to jail don't have money saved up for a lawyer. They all got public defenders. All of them. And 99% of the time, right? Somebody gonna snitch on you. You're gonna go to jail. Nobody gonna check on your mother. Nobody gonna care about your kids. They will try to put that rod in your baby mother though. And your baby mother is probably gonna be with it, right? Probably gonna be with it. End up having a baby of your enemy or somebody who you used to call your man, right? And it's a perpetual cycle, a revolving door of ignorance and stupidity, right? There's no excuse for them now. They're willingly choosing to be ignorant. They're willingly choosing, right, unfortunately, to subjugate themselves to a lifestyle that they can work themselves out of if they had the confidence to do so, right? I dare say most people in gangs today are in the gang because they fear being anything else. They don't have the confidence or the work ethic. They don't have the cojones to be anything more than what they are right now. They're afraid about what other people are going to think. You know, if I cared about what other people think, I wouldn't be Nate Almighty, the global dark-skinned ambassador on YouTube. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't be who I am. You feel me? I did something that's never done in my hood. Like, you gotta understand, aside from like B-Love, a couple rappers from the hood who might get money off the internet because they got videos and they rapping, right? I'm the only person on my side of the Bronx who figured out a way to get money on the internet through YouTube. I am the only one, me, Nate Almighty, Juju, Julius, from Cortland, from the Browns, right? Apartment 7F. I used to live there. So if you go there now looking for me, I'm not there. It's probably some Dominican family in there right now, right? Because my building is like 80% Dominican now, right? But I figured it out because I had made it personal and said, listen, I don't want to work for nobody. I'll move someplace where it's cheaper to live while I figure it out and get a 2 to 5 year plan going. You know what I'm saying? Right now, you go on my channel, you'll see, hey, I got almost 17,000 subscribers. I'm 2 years in. Do you understand who I'm going to be in another 3 years? I'm going to have way more money, way more benefits, way more access to situations. I'm going to be able to help a lot of people in another 3 to definitely 5 years. Just off the internet and building my brand. You got to understand, most people who stay in gangs, it ain't about money. These are some of the most selfish people you ever gonna see. Like, have you ever really looked at most people in gangs and realized how selfish and disrespectful they are? Like, most people in gangs, these are the type of people who they'll see a lady with a lot of groceries walking into a building and they won't even offer to help her take her groceries to her apartment. And there's so much cancers to their community, even if they offer, the older women may think that they're trying to rob them or steal their groceries. So now you can't even be of service to the elderly people in your neighborhood. These are some of the most selfish people in the world. You realize that they'll get into shootouts, right? They'll get into shootouts in broad daylight with a bunch of kids outside, right? Hit kids by mistake, hit grown people by mistake, hit people who have nothing to do with these gangs, right? And they don't have the money, right, to at least compensate the people whose family they terrorized, right? They don't have the money to pay for the funeral of the little girl or little boy who they clapped by mistake, or their enemies clapped by mistake trying to get at them. Most people in gangs, they don't even go to the gun range. They don't even go to the gun range to be able to even be efficient shooters, to not hit the wrong people. These are some of the most selfish, first of all, gang members are the most selfish people in the community. And for some reason, they care more about the bros than anything else. It's a little, it's a little gizme if you ask me, you know what I'm saying? It's a little bit H erotic, you know what I'm saying? You gotta figure out what that H word is, you know what I'm saying? But you know what I mean? That's what it's given to me, you feel me? That's what it looks like to me. And at the end of the day, you gotta understand that encourage the young people in your neighborhood. If you somebody who they can respect, try to wake them up. People wake up at different times, but it's up to the people who are more woke than them to try to be their alarm clocks. That's what it's all about, you know what I'm saying? That's what it's all about. That's exactly what it's all about. Try to tell them, hey, listen, I know you're living your life this way, but listen, just if you're gonna do this, get an insurance claim, make your kids your beneficiaries. You getting a couple dollars, pay this little $10, $20 a month for your kids in case something happen to you. Or tell them about a book. Or if, let's say you're somebody who's of means, or you have like a young rapper from your neighborhood or something. Or not from your neighborhood, but you're someone of means who he may need to further his rap career or something like that, right? Try to be the person who says, hey, listen, I'll give you a deal on this, that. I give you, like, if you're a beat maker or something from the hood, or you got studio time or something, you run a studio, say, yo, listen, read this book and explain to me about this book when you're done, and I'll give you free studio time for a day. I give you an 8-hour slot for free. For free. Just give me a little, $100, $200 for the mixing and mastering, but I'll give you an 8-hour slot for free. We gotta try, you know what I mean? Like, that could change somebody's life. It's up to us who are from these neighborhoods and have some type of means. Like, for instance, I got this YouTube channel. Anybody who I know, they might want to pay me for promotion. I say, listen, man, I do it for you for free, but stay out of trouble, man. Stay out of trouble. Like, there gotta be ways around this, you know what I mean? It's no point in being in the gang for real. It's no point. Like, it's like nobody is building wealth, right? Because the people who run the gangs, they don't know nothing. So they're not going to teach you how to build wealth because they don't know and they don't care to know. Most of them is old heads. They don't know how to use the internet anyway. They don't know how to use the internet anyway. You know what I'm saying? So they're not building wealth. They're not telling you nothing that you need to know. They just saying, yo, we going to do this. Oh, do this for a mission. Oh, put in this work for me that I don't want to do for myself, right? This is all it's about. It's not about no money at all or any progress at all. So the question is, what's the point? What's the point? There's only a reason for you to be in the gang if you're insecure, you're looking for a place of belonging, and you're slightly gizne. You feel me? Like, share, comment, subscribe, peace.